Today we are going to be learning a few techniques on how to make paper sculpture. We're going to turn these flat pieces of paper into three-dimensional works of art. I'm going to start first with one of the easiest ways we can turn a flat piece of paper into three-dimensional form. So I'm going to roll this piece of paper and glue this edge right here to make a simple cylinder. After I glue both pieces together, I'm going to hold on to the parts that I glue together for a few moments so that gives the glue time enough to dry so that the pieces will stay together even if I'm not holding them together. That should work, and here you can see that this is a roll right now, and I can use it to make other fun things for my fun sculpture. Now I'm going to create a small loop, so I'm going to cut a thin strip of paper and I'm going to roll it and put a dot of glue right here and then glue both ends to each other and hold it for a moment so that the glue can dry. I can put these watercolors on top of it to hold it while it dries. Now I'd like to show you how to use slits to create three-dimensional shapes. So I'm going to cut a long strip of paper. I'm going to take this strip and I'm going to fold a little edge over all across the strip. Starting on the side that has the fold, I'm going to cut in just to where that fold is, about an inch apart all across this piece of paper. Now that I cut all the tabs, I'm going to go ahead and fold them opposite. So the first one I'm going to fold back, and then I'm going to fold forward and back and forward and back all along the side so that I have a flat surface that I can use to glue. I'm going to put a dot of glue on each of these tabs. Now I can glue this down on a larger piece of paper, making whatever form I want to make. Next, I'm going to make a series of cut to make fringe. So I'm just going to keep cutting a bunch of long slits on this paper to make a fringe. I can curl the fringe, or I can bend the fringe back and forth like this to crimp it. So I'm folding back and forth on each of these thin strips of paper. That looks cool. I'm going to use that same accordion fold on a bigger piece of paper. And now there is a number of things I can do with this. I can make stairs. I could also fold it to make a fan. Now I'm going to cut a spiral shape, and this works with any shape that you want to do. Right now I'm doing like a rounded rectangle shape, but I'm going to go ahead and round those edges, and then I'm just going to go ahead and start cutting. And I'm going to follow a thin border around each edge and just keep cutting in and cutting in until I reach the middle. This form is fun because you can pull it apart or make it flat again. Now to make a cone, I'm going to start by tracing this circular cup with a pen or pencil. And then I'm going to cut it out. To find the middle of my cone, I'm going to go ahead and fold it in half and fold it in half across the other side. And then I'm going to cut to where those folds meet. Now I can push one flap under the other and the circle becomes a cone. Let's glue the flap on top so that our cone will stay shaped. Another way that we can work with paper is we can fold it and cut shapes from the middle. In this case, I'm going to use another technique that's interesting to use, and I'm going to tear this shape out instead of cutting it. So I folded my paper and now I'm tearing out half of a teardrop so that it opens to a heart. Usually, crumbling a piece of paper in the art classroom is the last thing we do before we throw it in the trash. But did you know that crumbling can soften the paper and make it pliable so that you can make it into different forms? I can make this blue shape into a mountain on the surface of my paper right here. It can be the leaves on the top of a tree or ice cream inside a cone. Going back to folding, I can fold a piece of paper and cut shapes from the fold. When I open it up, I have some shapes like so. And if I fold the edges up like this, I have a flat surface to put some glue on. I can glue it to a surface to have a prism form. It's also really easy to take long strips of paper and fold them into different shapes. So here I'm going to fold it into a square shape. There are so many cool things that we can make when we learn these paper sculpture techniques.